Hello and welcome to The Explainer. We've all been there, right? A conversation just goes completely off the rails, and you're left wondering, what happened? Well, what if you could actually master the art of compassionate communication? Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can do that, step by simple step. So, let's start with a really important question. We tend to think of misunderstandings as, you know, minor hiccups. But are they? What if a single wrong word or a concern that goes unheard could lead to real, actual harm? You see, the stakes are so much higher than we usually think.
To really get what works, you've got to first look at what doesn't. So let's dive into what happens when communication completely breaks down.
Okay, take a look at this. It really maps out all the little traps we can fall into. Things like a lack of active listening or using ambiguous language. These aren't just buzzwords. They're the specific tripwires that can derail an entire conversation in a second, leaving someone feeling totally ignored, confused, or even disrespected. And here's where it gets really serious. These aren't just made-up scenarios. Unclear notes, that can lead to a missed dose of medication. A rushed instruction like, just wait over there. For someone with dementia, that can mean getting lost. And a dismissive tone, well, that does more than just hurt feelings. It strips away a person's dignity. It shows that bad communication isn't just clumsy, it can be downright dangerous and dehumanizing. But here's what's so important to remember. Good communication isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about something much deeper. It's about building the very human connections that lie at the heart of all our relationships. I mean, think about it. Why do we even communicate? On a basic level, it's to say I'm hungry or I'm in pain. But it's also how we share crucial information, how we build relationships that fight off loneliness, and how we express our biggest fears and joys. And maybe most importantly, it's how we make our own choices and hold on to our independence. It really touches every single part of who we are. And of course, no conversation happens in a vacuum. There are all these hidden factors at play. Our emotions, our past experiences, shoot, even the lighting in the room. It all affects how a message is sent and, crucially, how it's received. We're not just swapping words. We're navigating this incredibly complex web of context. So, the big question is, how do you navigate that web? Well, let's get practical. It really boils down to a simple but incredibly powerful three-part toolkit that literally anyone can learn to use. Here they are, 3 simple skills. 1, listen actively. 2, adapt your style. And 3, clarify and confirm. Now, these might not sound revolutionary, but I promise you, mastering them will transform every single interaction you have. Let's break them down. First up, active listening. And let me be clear, this is so much more than just keeping your mouth shut while someone else talks. It's about giving them your full, undivided attention. You're not just listening to their words. You're watching their body language. You're listening to understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. So, what does this look like in the real world? Well, it can be as simple as greeting someone by their name with a genuine smile. It's taking that extra minute to patiently listen to a story, because that's how you build real rapport. And, this one's huge, it's about validating their feelings. Just saying something like, I can see this is really upsetting for you, lets that person know they are truly, deeply heard. All right, tool number 2 in our kit is adapting your style. Think of this as being a communication chameleon. It's all about realizing that one size does not fit all. The goal is to meet people where they are by adjusting your tone, your pace, and even your method to fit their unique needs. For example, you might use picture cards if someone is nonverbal. Or you might just slow down your pace of speaking for a person with dementia, giving them a moment to process. Or providing instructions in large print for someone with a visual impairment. See? These small adaptations can make a gigantic difference. And that brings us to our third and final tool, clarify and confirm. I want you to think of this as the ultimate safety check for any conversation. This is where you actively stop misunderstandings before they start, just by making sure you're both on the same page. This is the step that prevents tiny miscommunications from snowballing into huge problems. Let's look at a perfect example. Saying, you need to take this pill is just a command. It's flat. But listen to the difference here. Hello, Mr. Smith, it's 10 a.m., and that means it's time for your heart medication. You're giving context, you're confirming what's happening, and you're offering a choice. That small shift turns a command into a partnership. It's respectful, it's safe, and it's collaborative. Now, this entire toolkit becomes absolutely mission critical
when things get tough, in those conversations that are emotionally charged or really complex. This is such a great, simple guide for what to do under pressure. If someone is angry, your job is to de-escalate. Be calm, be quiet, give them space. If they're sad, your approach shifts completely. You need to be empathetic, you need to validate how they're feeling, and if they're confused, you bring out the toolkit and you stay simple, you stay clear, and above all, you stay patient. It's all about matching your response to their emotion.
And sometimes a person needs extra help to make their voice heard. That's exactly where independent advocates come in. Their entire job is to be that bridge, to make sure that even the most vulnerable person's wishes are respected and their rights are protected. They're a crucial lifeline.
So as we start to pull all of this together, let's zoom out one last time. What is the real ultimate power behind being heard?
And this, right here, is the most important thing to take away from our time together. We have got to stop calling communication a soft skill. It's not. It is a critical, life-saving skill. It's what ensures safety, what upholds dignity, and what builds the trust that is the foundation of every human connection we have. So I'll leave you with this. Take this toolkit, listen, adapt, and clarify, and just think for a second about your own life. Who is it right now, today, that needs to feel truly and completely heard by you? Because the power to make that happen, well, that's in your hands.